Along with me is Dr. RAJESHKUMAR K C, Scientist E, National Fungal Culture Collection of India, Makas AGHARKAR Research Institute, Pune. Hello, sir.
So what inspired you to pursue a career in mycology?
Early career in my intermediates, I learned plant pathology, and later, when I did my masters, one of my thesis dissertation was on fungal aspect of diversity. That was the initial early days of my education, and further when I started my PhD, I have contacted somebody in Kerala Forest Research Institute, Dr. Mohanan. He was an enthusiastic researcher and plant pathologist. So we had an opportunity under Ministry of Environmental and Science Department from Government of India to conduct an IQAC project. Eventually, I became a part of that. Then there were struggles to learn the basics, but eventually come up into the subject, taking it as a passion, then continuing that passions from last 20 years.
What do you think are the most exciting emerging areas of research in fungal taxonomy and phylogenetics?
Fungal taxonomy itself is evolving drastically. There were revolutionary changes which were happening in the past 20 decades. Like there is a transition which has happened from traditional morphology-based identification to the most recent integrative taxonomic approaches, which is also known as polyphasic taxonomic approaches. So the classification system which were followed traditionally for around 275 years were changed immensely based on molecular pool-based classification or an amalgamation of morphology, phylogeny, and chemical chemotaxonomic tools-based classification. So it's evolving much faster these days, and recently we have come up with publications on classifications and evolving trend, which is always towards like collecting all these integrative approaches in the taxonomy. That's very challenging, actually, because we have to adopt to all these changes which were happened in the classification system, and the new generation researchers must follow the new rules set up by the international agencies in mycology.
If you could address one major unanswered question in mycology during your lifetime, what would it be and why?
Most of the questions in mycology are like evolved over years. As such, I don't have a greater questions, but I take it as a challenge for discovering more species from India and putting India into the global biodiversity map. That is one challenging task I have. And I dream that India must have a dedicated institution for conducting mycology research. So I'll be putting my efforts and channelizing our energy towards that.
So as per after the seminar, I'm very much sure that you are a proud Indian, that you are representing India for mycology. So what else do you want to tell for the teenagers that to be part of mycology?
See, the mycological heritage starts from 1960s. Only our mycology started 100 years ago in India. But eventually, for the young mycologists, you have to be passionate for your subject. And there are immense scope for biodiversity research in India because we are one of the biodiversity rich countries. We have two biodiversity centers in India, like Western Ghats and Indian Himalayas. So immense scope for studying the basic as well as applied research. Much of the molecules from the fungi were not yet discovered. So there are scope for, natural product chemistry, and taking this into applied aspects of research, such as drug discovery or multi aspects. Even agriculture for finding out new biofertilizers. And all these aspects, there is immense potential which is coming up. So youngsters must focus on the biodiversity of fungi and take up the legacy of Indian mycology. And I had the opportunity to be part of international teams where international mycological conferences happened. So I was representing India there. So it's a proud moment as an Indian to be with the legends of the subject to whom we read initially during our PhD and postdoctoral research and further as a scientist in mycology. So being with them and experiencing their advice and suggestions for improvising ourselves knowledge is very much intriguing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nithya.